everyone. Oh, apparently, the cameras were not 100%.
Oops.
Well, no, it was just mine for some reason. It was too small. There we go. That's better. Hi, everybody. It is Sunday night. Welcome back. We hope you, I am your friendly neighborhood Prax. Welcome to the channel. Thank you all for being here. And I want to do a quick shout out before we get into anything else that happens. Thank you to everyone who donated, shared the link, put everything around. We made our goal last week for our Fisher House Battle of the Branches run. We made $1,000 on our goal, and the team made our $5,000 goal. So actually, we beat our $5,000 goal at $5,051. So, yay for us! Good job, us. But tonight we are going to dive back in to our wonderful world of Sicily in the year 1232 with a very interesting little side special guest one shot with the wonderfully fabulous dear friend of the channel and dear friend of mine, Simon at Wandering DM. Hey Simon, introduce yourself and then introduce your character.
Hello. I'm Simon at Wandering DM. I have a cat that's being a bit of a menace. Streamer, game designer. You probably all know me anyway, and most of you saw me last week, I guess. Wait, was it last week on
Yes,
Monday?
it was last week.
Like last week. And tonight I am going to be playing a perfectly normal mortal who goes by the name of Raymond von Murnau, who may or may not be currently moving to Sicily for purely pragmatic and familial reasons, and not having anything to do at all with whatever it is Praxis players have unleashed during the stream ages ago. Well, I mean, I don't in-game. How long has it been since those events? Do I know that?
A year.
A year. Okay, it's been a year.
A year, which is the perfect amount of time for those events to have spread, a plan to be of response, and people to have been sent in a fast response medium. Would you agree? I feel like that would be. There were things that happened that happened pretty quickly. It just was a complicated issue. But this is where we start off with a quick announcement. You will note, hey everybody, I am keeping the Battle of the Branches Tiltify up. This is going to be our last charity stream for this, last game for this charity stream. I've turned off the voting for the branch to win, but you can still donate. I've turned off a couple of the incentives, but you can give advantages, or in this case, they would be critical successes to either Simon or me. You can give them to me.
Yeah, but I have something way better, remember?
Oh yeah, you do. But you could still give them to me. It'd make my life fun. And then you can also donate to make things worse. I'm just saying.
Yeah. To anyone wondering, I do have a pool of bonus dice that I offered to me to use with any roll, divisible by any means that I so desires and usable at any time during the game. It's equal to my highest virtue rating, which is 3 to begin with. But I don't get to use them. They are forced upon me by the GM, by the storyteller. And if I fail a check, despite having those, like, any amount of bonus dice that I'm given, I will lose either willpower or conviction for each failure. Because apparently my whole family is cursed. I don't know, my great uncle or something did something wrong in the woods one time, and
Well, I mean, your
Now
uncle...
half the family is under investigation by
Well,
the church.
Your uncle did murder his brother.
Yes. Yeah, but that was after the von Myrno got their cures.
That's
so it's
true.
Wayland's. Yeah, it's Wayland's. Shit, what's his name again? Wayland's father, but it's Leopold.
Yeah.
Well, von Merlo. Myrno, not Merlo. That's different.
I mean, someone could embrace a new choice for the family in which they embrace Merlot.
That would be a whole lot different.
Look, you've moved to Sicily. The wine
I was going to say that's probably
improved.
like the public version of it.
But here's the thing. In Sicily, we don't drink Merlot. We don't even drink...
That's a French thing, I think.
Yeah, the Merlot is a West Bank, is really into Bordeaux more than... and then the Americas. In Italy, in northern Italy, there's a lot of Cabernet Sauvignon, Sangiovese. In Sicily, we have this little thing called Nero Diavolo.
Do you want to spell that? I mean, not Diablo, but the first one.
Nero, N-E-R-O, like black.
N-E-R-O. Oh, okay.
Nero Diavolo, right? It's very nice. It's very heavy. It's a very strong red wine, and usually has a slightly higher alcohol content than other Cabernet or Sangiovese. Just, you know.
I don't think I've ever drank Nero d'Avola. Yeah.
Yeah. Nero Diavolo.
Well, it's going to be on my list of to drink at some point.
Yeah, enjoy. But while we are here embracing our pleasures of the grape, we left off the end of our finale with Team High Clan successfully not appeasing, I guess is the right word, proving that they could follow directions well enough to get the thing that they asked for back. That the prince in Palermo, basically did enough tasks and did a good enough job that Lord Lasombra decided to release someone from an obolette in the abyss and give them back to the prince. After a year in the abyss. Well, at least in our side of the timeline. But that's what the vampires are doing. And then we panned over to the next morning of a ship landing in port. And of an individual waiting until after the ship had been tied up. A well-appointed ship. Nicer than a merchant class. Not perhaps as nice as the vessel that a certain sea gangrel may have appropriated for various actions on the East Coast against certain Venetians. Which, they're Venetians, who cares? But the vessel is very nice. The gangplank was lowered, a number of attendants began to unload, and an individual was standing at the top of the gangplank, preparing to make his way in to the harbor masters and make his way to around the city of Palermo. What do the people see when at this individual at the top of the gangplank?
Currently, Raymond is dressed in his, let's say, second finest clothing. Given that he changed like maybe an hour before we made port. Because as a representative of the House of Myrno, I am here to establish certain trade deals and oversee the I think it's already built though. The like mansion that we have, the estate that we have
Well, you
in
took over one, shall we say?
yeah.
A
He
villa.
needs to look like someone who, belongs in said villa, and not, shouldn't show up with all of my, demon hunting gear.
You do have a few attendants, to help with this.
Yes. Oh, they're carrying all my stuff right now. They're just probably moving trunks of clothes, equipment, a little bit of food from home that I'm bringing as gifts to give to many of the locals with whom I'm gonna have to deal, and to further the I was gonna say above board. Maybe everything we do is above board, but to basically keep up appearances with the interests of the House of Myrno. And so currently, Raymond, who's a man in his 40s, with an almost completely grayed out goatee. The rest of his beard is a little patchy here and there. He needs to shave, hasn't done so quite as much as he would have on board the ship. His barber surgeon has been, more busy with being seasick. His hair is salt and pepper, beginning to thin a bit. He has this look of someone who's probably devoid of any sense of humor. Sort of very pragmatic, down-to-earth person to whom the only thing that matters is the church and Christ, and we should live, not as necessarily as gaudy as the Catholics do.
Well, you have to remember.
But right now, that's all there is. So,
welcome to the world, and you will not be, in any way, shape, or form, having to deal with that Martin Luther problem for another 200 years.
That's it. But he's affecting this sort of proto-Lutheran mindset.
So he looks like a Franciscan.
Yeah, closer to a Franciscan, except I'm not dressed in robes or anything of the sort. I do have a long, a great coat, a navy blue great coat with a like some sort of like golden embroidered trim around it. Underneath is just a very well tailored shirt, sort of with a high collar, and it's tied up with a button that bears the crest of the von Myrno family.
Silver or gold, the people wish to know.
So it would have to be gold, but that's not what he likes to wear. Like right now, Raymond has to keep up appearances, so this is as flashy of an article of clothing as he's going to wear. He does have this also vest, sort of tied up in the middle here, that reaches about like just tied up all the way on to like the middle of his sternum, basically. Not wearing any necklaces or anything of the sort, but someone who would look very closely to like peek at his collar would see that there is a discoloration from years of wearing a necklace or a chain with this exact shirt. The shirt, of course, white. The pants, sort of off beige. No, wait. Is off beige closer to brown or closer to white?
It would be closer to brown.
Yeah, I need them closer to brown.
Oh, so you need to wear your brown pants. I understand now.
Yes, not the dark brown pants. These are my dysentery pants, not my shit yourself because you see a demon pants. and yeah, they are, of course, sort of laced up. You cannot see what he's wearing under them, but if I remember correctly, early 13th century, we still had the I know them in French, but like the chausses and the culotte,
Yes.
just basically like the undergarment and the one that goes above it and you tie up to your belt, which is what he has. There is, however, in all of that like lacing, there's extra length of leather in those strings. I am someone who comes from a family who can afford not to be stingy with the price we pay for like
goods,
our clothes, our goods, and everything. We're not really looking. His coat, by the way, is not so long that it has like a train behind it or anything. I don't need any attendants to hold my shit up.
Well, I would assume not when you're disembarking a vessel, but perhaps when you make your appearance at court.
Not even. It would be presumptuous to wear something that could be,
yes,
in his mind anyway, in Raymond's mind, to sort of try to send a message that I'm trying to upstage the local nobility. I am the newcomer. I want people to see me as not a threat, but not quite a peer just yet. Just so that, you know, there's this room of maybe people will try to take advantage of the family, and then we'll realize that we are, you know, more shrewd than we let on. But I don't want to seem, and Raymond would have told so to like his entourage as well. Like, we're not here to threaten the local aristocracy. We're not here to inflict fear upon them either. And also, we're on a mission.
From God?
We do have to keep up appearances. We're on a mission from God, but also a mission, I guess, yeah, from God as well. There's a demon on the loose, and that demon needs to be dealt with. And this should be our first priority. The economical wellness of our family is important, but second at the moment.
Indeed, there are a number of new nobility making their way to Palermo now that Friedrich has made that his capital and his seat for, you know, where he will hold court as Holy Roman Emperor. Palermo is a lot nicer than anywhere in Germany. I mean, it's just the weather's nicer, the food's better, the wine's better.
It's hotter.
Again, the weather's better. You're on the coast, so there's a nice sea breeze. The art is better. All of these things are great. So as you make your way to, you know, your captain will have filled out all of the various paperwork with the harbor master's office, and there is a carriage waiting for you.
I was going to ask, has one of my people already gotten, I was going to say booked a carriage, found a carriage for us?
Yes. The question then becomes, so this is a thing, and this is a thing that came up multiple times during the campaign. A large percentage of the city of Palermo was already built and established. Well, you know, the buildings are already there. There hasn't been a lot of overturn in, like, physical footprints since the 800s. A lot of the buildings are still either converted Greek period or Roman period. And if they weren't from that, they were being built during the Caliphate. So the question is, how close to the center of town at this point would the family have established themselves?
You wouldn't happen to have a map of Palermo?
Oh yeah, it's easy. You just use the real one. When I say that the city isn't
hasn't really changed.
the streets are the same. Like the names have been changed. For example,
To protect the innocent.
no, it's just because of the Via Giuseppe Garibaldi, right? Like that street was there during the Roman period, but after unification and Giuseppe Garibaldi becomes the most important person second most important person in Italy in the 19th century, we're gonna name a street after him, right? Like, but like if you look at any of the buildings on that street, all of those buildings are medieval period.
Okay, so I would have landed in
You would have landed in
the docks, basically.
yeah, where it's called the La Mola Trapezoidale. The only thing that's really quote unquote new in the city is the gardens, but the gardens would have been there because they're the same fruit trees. It's just named changed again.
Yeah, I was thinking Castello di Mare il Dolce. Somewhere along the I will butcher it, but the Belmonte Chiavelli.
The Belmonte Cavalli? Dove?
Sort of like south of the word Palermo on Google Map. It's like right under E90.
Belmonte Capelli? Belmonte is...
I have the wait, how do I... Oh, I think that's like an actual address. I thought it was the name of a...
No, it's an actual address, don't worry about it. Capelli?
Chiavelli.
Cavelli. That's important distinction. Cavelli.
It's by an ARD discount.
C-H... No, the Cavelli is
Chiavelli.
Okay, no. That's way too far out.
Oh, that's too far out. Okay.
So, like...
Need to get closer.
Yeah.
Oh, then,
So, like, where you want to be is east of... Where the... Okay, so the E90 is the Autostrada. That's... That was built outside of the city walls when they finally put in...
Okay.
So you want to be...
Yeah, I thought they were the city walls just because of how it looked.
Yeah, no, they were outside them. So you would have... Well,
Then...
they also didn't really have city walls the same way because Palermo didn't really have that concern. The center of the old city was Teatro Massimo di Palermo, which is the theater of the Opera House.
Okay, I see it.
And
would you say that
go from there to the Cattedrale de Palermo, which is just south of it, right? Like that's
I was gonna say,
like,
oh, that would be outside.
No, that would be like that was like kind of
the edge type of thing.
The edge, and there were a couple more blocks, but really consider the cathedral as like the outside edge of where the city was.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a dense...
Yeah, I found an older map that what's number one?
Belmonte, where you were looking, Belmonte Chiavelli.
Yeah, that's way too far.
By the way, it's Chiavelli, not Chiavelli. Chiavelli. You pronounce the CH. Chiavelli.
Okay.
Chiavelli. It could be either, depending on which side of the island you're on, but it's fine. So Chiavelli was technically like a separate town at the time.
Would you say that the Catacombe dei Cappuccini would be
Catacombe dei
Cappuccini? Because I'm trying to be more inland, while also not being too close to the city center. Because knowing the reputation and the issues that my family has, it might be better if we're a little bit, farther away.
So that area would be fine. Like you would probably want to be, but you wouldn't be in the catacombs themselves because.
No. But I meant like pick a block, like a block around there, and that's.
Yeah, the Via Cipressi, probably Vicolo Biamante. Vicolo, by the way, is like what's the word in English? It's thin road. It's like little one-way streets, but then again, most of what Italy or Sicily considers a two-way road, you would consider a one-way road. So Vehicles are mostly likely going to be like an alleyway, but they're roads. But like,
then I think there's a block here that would be fine. I live at the Buddy Club 2.2.
what? Just click on it and give me the coordinates. So I know where you are.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
And this is one of those things. Is like these areas, they've been renovated.
Here,
but
try
the
this.
roads haven't changed.
No, it's just because it's the only words that aren't in Italian that I can see. So I'm like, I'm gonna pick that. I can't butcher it.
Okay.
Unless I go to nanny bag luggage storage.
Okay, so you're looking around what the only area of Sicily of Palermo where they actually did tear things down to build like it is the quote unquote ghetto now. Not really, but it's the new buildings and their new flats and their. But yeah, so there would probably be a villa nearby. Yep.
That works. They tore down my villa.
Yeah, probably.
For reasons we will discover tonight.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
So yeah, that would be thereabouts.
Yeah, which is actually makes sense because now you're close to the Palazzo della Zia, which was one of the last remaining Moorish palazzos, and had a couple nobles still lived there, but that was like outside the main city, and therefore you could go like the main palace was further in, but that was so that was a nice area of town. You're good.
Out of curiosity, isn't there a like Jesuit school or something in town?
Probably not yet.
Just because of my family's ties with.
Yeah, but the Jesuits don't exist yet.
Oh, okay.
Remember?
So they would.
Remember? The Jesuits are a response to the Reformation. We're 200 years early before they don't exist.
Yeah, my medieval history classes date back, at this point, 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. No, so figure Loyola and Francis Xavier and all of them, that's 1450, 1500. So Martin Luther's theses is like in 1519, 1514, around there, and then the Jesuit response comes out like the St. Francis Xavier and Loyola are
1540.
1540. There we go. So a good 300 years before you have to worry about going to that school.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Then which one was it that the Murnos had? It's not the Franciscan.
No,
I remember when we were making the characters.
Your uncle is a Dominican. Or no, Benedictine. He's a Benedictine.
Yeah, a Benedictine monk.
Yeah, your uncle is a Benedictine monk. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Two Nerds thinking through history and what we're going to do. And
trying to, yeah. Now I see it's Benedictine because the link is already grayed out on my Wikipedia page. So I know I've clicked on it recently. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So is there like an abbey? How do you pronounce that?
An abbey.
Abbey? An abbey. Like an abbey or a monastery?
The Benedictines?
Mm-hmm. Because they do, I know the Benedictines do have abbeys.
They do.
I just don't know.
It's in Montreal.
Palermo.
It's in Montreal. Which is, it's a full cloister. It is, where, but it's outside the city.
Okay. Is it, out of curiosity, is it visitable, like, can I do basically a two-way trip within a day? Just a visit.
A two-way trip within a day?
Or like, is it something that
it would be difficult to do, but considering it, might not be impossible. The thing is that Palermo is bounded, the city is bounded by a mountain range that kind of comes around and sweeps around, and then there are these little valleys in between these two mountain ranges, and Montreal is on the other side of the mountains. So you could Montreal, so you could get there and back, depending on like how early you started. You know.
Okay. Well, in that case,
But
I
it's
think
like it's also like, are you riding horses? It could take a little, you know, it might take a little bit longer if you had a carriage.
it would be by carriage, but like it was more like the question really for Raymond was more of a, do I visit the order today, like first thing as I land, or because it could take a bit longer? And you basically gave me the answer. I'll like it'll be somewhere on this list, but not like a top priority.
Yeah, it's particularly because of the fact that the way the tides would be, you would not be arriving necessarily early enough to get from the port to the abbey, back to your house to the abbey and back in a day. Like you could do it and end up at the abbey in time for dinner, or even just a little bit after dinner, if you wanted to overnight at the abbey.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I would rather overnight in Palermo. I have work to do here. This would be a nice, like it's a nice to have type of thing. I would need to pray. I guess my estate also has like an altar or chapel.
Oh, your
in
villa
there.
would have a chapel. Your villa has a chapel.
Yeah. So
Here-
I'll
there's
use the
also-
chapel instead.
There is also, as we have established firmly, and the reason for you coming, 70 churches, not counting the private chapels in various villas and palazzos, in the city of Palermo at this time.
Yeah, but the Benedictine order has sort of a special place in my family. Hence why I wanted to know if there was a thing. But otherwise, yeah, I'll just use one of those, you know, second class places.
You mean like the cathedral?
Yeah. With its gaudy architecture and saints.
That's not a problem yet, y'all.
No. No, but the thing is, in Raymond's mind, for everyone watching, sort of like his great uncle Leopold, everything, or most everything that the church does is now seen as a distraction from the actual real work that we have to do. Raymond sees it as in, like, you know, he's not going to necessarily go to church every Sunday. He will pray when he's got the time. He tries to make the time for it. But evil doesn't rest on Sundays.
So,
And that's kind of why he doesn't want to leave the city for like 2 days. Because, you know, I'm just setting foot in here. I would rather hit the ground running.
okay, entirely side note, but pulling up the Cathedrale Palermo website, everyone, they have a permanent live webcam on their Cappella di Santa Rosalia, the Chapel de Saint Rosalie,
The one in
in the city in Palermo.
the giant like silver thing. Yeah.
Permanently. So if you want to, you know,
But that
Pray.
didn't exist yet, though, I think,
No,
right? Because that's like
no.
1600.
well, that particular version of the Cappella di Santa Rosalia didn't exist yet, but the cathedral already did. The cathedral was built during the Moorish period, and the cathedral and the Chapel de Santa Rosalia was already there. Santa Rosalia is a very important person. So
Cool.
but so you get to have all of the fun stuff.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it was erected like 5 years before I was born.
In game, yeah.
Yeah, no, IRL.
Yeah.
I was born in 1190 IRL.
Yeah,
I'm that old.
But that's the thing about Sicily. All of these buildings, you know, we talk about the new cathedral. This is the quote unquote new cathedral in Sicily. It fights with the fact that the cathedral in Syracuse was a converted Greek temple from the 8th century BC. But you are a Murno. Von Murno. Making your way to the city. You have a carriage. You are making your way to your villa, which is slightly outside the major areas of the city, but you know, in districts of a slightly higher class, which is not to be unexpected. The von Marno family will be are of the upper classes, or at least move in those circles in certain places. It is a very traditionally built palazzo, villa, not a palazzo, unless the family wanted a palazzo. No, I think you would have had a villa.
Yeah, probably not at the moment. We're under investigation by the church for the most part. I think we should make sure that we're not seen as, I don't know, burning money that the church might want to get their hands on.
Possible. So
that said, oh no, go ahead.
Go first.
Let me know if anything smells weird as I make my way there.
Oh, so you mean that you want to roll me a perception awareness or alertness, whichever one.
Well, it's more the
Yeah, I know. Just roll the perception and then we'll go from there.
Okay, cool. Perception awareness. First time using this sheet, so I just want to make sure that.
Yeah, I mean,
how do I?
You have to input you would do the rolls under the dice.
Under dice. Oh wow. Okay, this is.
Or you could just manually roll it. Both are acceptable.
Sand rolls too. Okay, cool. No, main dice pool. Okay, so we said perception and awareness. No modifiers. Difficulty 6.
Yep, just standard. We're gonna and 10s explode. 1s take away from successes unless on the exploded dice. Right? I feel like that's always been makes life more complicated. If you've already had the success, you don't need to have the additional negative.
I have a fumble.
Botch. No. You have a botch.
Yep.
Oh, good to know. Thank you very much. I'm going to keep that going.
Can I use willpower to reroll? I don't remember if they did that in the older edition. I don't think so.
Willpower grants you an automatic success in this edition. You can't use willpower to reroll.
I will use a point of willpower then.
To get an odd one success?
Yeah.
You can, to offset the botch, so it just becomes a fail?
Then I would use 2 to make it a success.
To make it one success?
For now.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly. I'll take that. Give it to me. Thank you. Use that willpower. By the way, everyone, you can donate to give Simon automatic successes, or you can give me automatic successes, or wait, you can even give me more dice to call against Simon's roll.
You can just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait another 15 minutes before piling on all the crap on Raymond.
I mean, possibly. So as you make your way through the city, it is a city that is tense. Less so, but there's a larger, you can see a larger amount of guards than perhaps one would expect during the daytime. But perhaps not. I mean, the Emperor has made this his seat of power, so perhaps a larger number of nobles making their appearances at court, more bodyguards. But you also see a larger representation of the militant monastic orders. The Knights Hospitaller, the Knights Templar, you even see a few Knights of Lazarus wandering around. Not very many. 1, maybe 2. But you definitely see the seals of the monastic of the various militant orders. But Palermo would be very different from any city Raymond has ever been to, except maybe Rome. And in fact, it would be even more different than Rome. Palermo is a city that thrives on its multiculturalism. After being conquered and reconquered by so many different groups, there are so many different groups and languages and religions practiced freely in the city. In fact, the Islamic quarter and the Jewish quarter are both very well regarded and open. Various silversmiths amongst the Jewish quarter are considered the height of both fashion and skill in across the empire. Religious tolerance is codified into law at this point. There are certain privileges that being a Christian will get you from various other perspectives, but the actual practice of the Islamic or Jewish religion is not illegal and is not persecuted against. At least not publicly. You have heard, and you know why the city is a little more tense. A year ago, things got interesting. A demon making their appearance. The murder of 70 priests of the city. Rumors that the vampires had come out from behind the various darkened doors. But at least during the daytime, all you can see in response to that is the heightened guards and the various other martial orders as they make their way through the city. There is not a large, at this point, urchin population. In fact, that will be one of the things that becomes really kind of a big deal in a few centuries later, but right now, most of those for whom the orphans, or what we would usually call street children, that end up being, pickpocket gangs and other stories, end up in these stories and in this city being taken in by the various abbeys and monasteries around the city. And taught trades, and then sent back out for various purposes. The city is alive and vibrant. The smells will be very different than what Raymond is used to. Garlic and spices, cumin and coriander and anise. You have the bright painted tile work and marble all across the city. There are colors and fabrics and fashions that are both in line with what Raymond is used to in the north, but also more similar perhaps to imagery that he may have seen in churches of the Madonna. Various what we would call, Greco-Roman attire. Long tunics, long dresses with veils for women. Women are also seen walking out on the streets with escorts or without, depending on things. And based on just the traffic pattern that you would go to, there is no reason for you to be going to certain quarters of the city. However, that's not a big deal. You wouldn't worry about it. Your nose, by the way, gets as much of a hint as you ever do in a major metropolitan area, right? You're muted.
How long's the ride between the port to the villa?
maybe an hour and a half, depending on, you know, how much traffic, quote unquote, there is on the streets. But you have a carriage, so, you know.
I think after having, sort of taken in some of the sights and the sounds and the smells, he would just basically like crane his neck and ask I want to ask the carriage driver, uh, what does he think of Palermo especially in the last year? I heard you went through some tragedy.
So this is where we get to a very interesting question. What languages does Raymond speak?
Yeah, I was gonna say he asks in broken Italian. What are my languages? Where are they? I can ask in Latin. I'm very good at Latin.
Latin might actually be your best bet?
Yeah, probably. Let me just check if is it academics that gives you more
Yes.
languages, or I'm
Intelligence,
okay.
and you can pick extra languages as a skill, a bonus skill.
Yeah, I picked up Latin because of that, because I didn't need to learn anything. So I guess I have 1 dot in academics, so I guess I would treat my Italian as being 1 dot. I would have probably tried to learn a bit on the ship.
But there is no Italian.
Oh no, right.
For those of you playing at home,
That would be like
the language,
Old Sicilian?
It's a Sicilian dialect, yeah. And it is very different than what you are used to hearing in Italian. For those of you playing at home, the Italian language isn't standardized until Mussolini in the 1930s.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it takes until like the 20th century for Italian to actually be a thing.
Yeah, and Sicilian is a more heavily Greek-based dialect. So if you speak Greek or Latin, you'd probably make yourself understood.
But I'm not quite. I'm gonna try in Latin, but in Raymond's mind, like a carriage driver probably doesn't speak Latin. I mean, back home, you sort of need to be educated in Latin, because otherwise, you need to be taught. If you're not part of upper society or ecclesiarchy, you're not going to speak Latin.
So in this case, then I would say, roll me intelligence. If you don't have, did you take language? A language skill?
No, but I do have 1 dot in academics, and I have 2 dots in Latin. So if you want a Latin roll, I can make a Latin roll.
Yeah, so make me a Latin roll, and you can use that extra dot in academics as, you know, a bonus dice.
So int Latin. It doesn't take the. Okay, give me just a sec. It doesn't take the name into account, so that would be extra knowledge 1. Expert knowledge 1 with a +1, you said, for thing.
Yeah.
What? Oh, sorry, wrong button. 4 successes.
With a 10,
With,
so
I
you
think,
get to
an exploding
re-roll
10. Cool.
Reroll again. So up to 5.
6 successes.
6 successes, as we know, is an exceptional success. So your Latin is very good as an academic. And the carriage driver doesn't speak Latin, at least not from an academic sense or an ecclesiastical sense. But he's not unintelligent. And he is an individual who is, shall we say, definitely one of the, what we call an upper class servant, right? A servant who perhaps, if we consider a Victorian delineation, he would be an upstairs or a personal attendant. But he is one who is been a carriage driver to the upper classes, descending on Palermo for a while now. And his understanding of Latin is very heavily influenced by the fact that the church still, all of the masses are performed in Latin. So he has some understanding of that. But he also has some understanding of the base language, and he has attended to enough upper classes that your ecclesiastical, very academic pronunciation is well enough for him to be understood, or for him to understand you. And then his response is not as clean. It is definitely not academic. It is definitely not what we would say would be classical in grammatical structure. But it is very obvious that he is intelligent enough to take what he knows and apply it in a realistic setting without having the academic background. So your question specifically was, how does the city fare after the last year? And the nobles come, the nobles go. The city will be here. A demon comes, the demon goes. The city is still here. The sun shines, the moon shines. Palermo is here. We don't have a volcano problem. That's on the other side.
It was my understanding, out of game, it was my understanding that people in Palermo didn't really know about a demon, right?
I mean, it's also the 1230s, right? Like,
yeah, okay.
70 priests died in a single night.
So it's the, yeah, okay.
70 priests died in a single night and left their dead bodies as burned ash on the altars, and then had the sacristy lights all missing. Like, Sicilians are superstitious already. It's we got a demon. Like, specifically, no. There's like, this happened.
So when he says demon, it's more like I was going to say colloquial, but he's not initiated, basically. He just, it's a demon. Just how many people would talk about, the work of the devil or whatever.
Or particularly in Sicily, the heavy belief in things like the Maloik, right? Like, somebody looked at you wrong and gave you a curse. The evil eye, right? Like, things that you need to do against the evil eye. Or it's not yet, because we don't have peppers yet, but the corno. You would still see this actually as the corno. The pepper will take on the form of the corno, but the corno is already existing, and the corno comes from actually the Greeks, and the herm from Hermes, and all of the phallic symbols that were on crossroads during the Greek and Roman period.
Okay.
As protections against evil, right? Like, this is a city full of people that are like, it doesn't matter who's in charge, it doesn't matter what religion is in charge, whether it's Jewish or Christian or Islamic. These are people who believe in folk beliefs, right? And so his, we're going to have 70 priests died in a single night, and there's a whole mess on this. It was not pretty. Everybody knew something happened. The city is cursed. There is a demon. There is something demonic. We don't know what it is. We trust the church to take care of it. Eventually. Maybe. Somebody will possibly tell us that something happened. If not, we'll get a nonna out to do. And that's the thing, is like, this is also still an island where, unlike in other cultures, witchcraft becomes very negative throughout the centuries in Northern Europe. In Sicily, the strega is considered a blessing, right? Like, it's also not a title that you can take yourself. The strega is a old wise woman, old folklore woman, but protected by everyone, If you have a strega in the village, then that protects the village. right? You've got your priest, you've got your strega. You've protected against everything. And if the strega and the priest can't handle it, it's obviously a reason that the entire village should leave. Right? Like, something like this.
So he's not alarmed.
I don't know that he's not alarmed so much as it is a level of same shit, different day.
Okay.
Right? Like, again, he is of the population that's a Sicilian, right? But he is a Sicilian who is a very dark, very, very dark skin, tan skin, dark black hair, dark eyes, kind of short, a little squat, possibly a little pudgy, but don't say it because that just means that he's enjoying his wife's cooking, right? Like, just a little bit is fine. But these are people who look across and in the last 2 centuries have had 5 different rulers, none of whom have been native to this island. So the reality that something has gone wrong, that's the same shit, different day. He doesn't really expect anything to be done about it by anybody. Which will be, in a couple 100 years, the reason that La Cosa Nostra becomes so powerful. But right now, it's we haven't had any further problems, or at least not publicly, had any further problems that, one night, everybody died, and haven't heard anything since, and haven't heard anything from the government or the church since, right? Like, we've seen a bunch more, he would tell you, it's like, more knights, more guards, nobody says nothing. I keep a cross, I have a corno, I'm protected.
And has any other death occurred amongst the priesthood since? 'Cause I heard news that made it to the home to Bavaria was, I believe, 3.5 scores
Yes.
of people that died.
All priests. So, and he'll kind of like do one of these where he leans back, got one hand. So you have to picture it, right? It is late at night, and I am a good Christian. Do you understand this? I'm a good Christian. I go to Mass frequently. I go to Mass every Sunday. I go to Mass when I can during the week. I make sure that I stop and pray. I dedicate my saints. I do my service. But not everyone can go to matins, right? Not everyone can, not matins, louds. Not everyone can go to louds. It is late. And I've got 4 children. You can't take 4 children to louds in the middle of the night. No. So, nobody knew, right? Nobody knew. It was late. And apparently they went the bells didn't ring in the city. Not a single bell rang in the city. That's how they knew. That's how they knew that there was a problem, right? No bells, none of the churches, not even the cathedral rang. The bell didn't ring. But, what the word? Scusate, un momento. Sì, Signora Peppercherry, the louds, no, the mountains, the dawn, right? The dawn, it come, and then they went to through the mass, and no one could find the priest. There was no priest. No one could find the priest. There was no priest. What do? There was no priest. So a couple of the deacons, they go to open the church. They open the church. They, some of the, come si dice? The nonna. See, the nonna, they come to clean the church. See, and they come for the matins to clean the church, and then on the church, all of the churches in the city, the altar, covered in ash, of a body of a man. No one can find the priest. Oh no, these are the priests. Across a single city in a single night. Severo, severo. It's true, it's true. And, I tell you this. No one says nothing. We got the Knights of the Templar, we got the Knights of the Hospital, we got the Knights of these, we got the Knights of that, nobody says nothing. 4 new bishops. 4. And nobody says nothing.
That is odd. Have these priests been replaced?
You know, someone gets promoted, someone gets...
I would assume they would, at least some of them, might fear taking the place of their burnt predecessors. Have you heard about anything of the sort? Reticence? You seem to be fairly, I would say, nonplussed by the whole situation, but you feel like people in Palermo have a certain resilience. But, I mean, 70 of your peers is...
He will laugh at that. What priest is a peer of mine? Does he work for his living? No, he prays to God.
No,
important.
I meant...
This is very important. But he sit there and he work for a living? Ah. All those
I meant priest to priest. Imagine if 70 of their carriage drivers were to suddenly combust overnight. Would you still want to be a carriage driver?
He kind of turns, keeps his hands, he's like, yes, I get more money. You have to understand. Reason why? Have I offended anybody? If I survived the first night, that obviously means I'm going to survive the second night. Remembering, of course, that this is an entire island of people that firmly believe, and these are my cousins, and I can say this with a hand to God, that there is a village on the east coast of Sicily that is permanently protected because when the lava flow off of Etna stopped at the church and went around the entire city in the 1400s and has not crossed that line since. Oh, it's all protected by God.
Uh-huh.
You know, if God actually wanted me dead, I would be dead. Since I'm not dead, obviously God doesn't want me dead yet. It's a thing.
That is indeed how it works.
But I will say this, no one is going out late at night. Don't want to get eaten, of course. But nobody says anything. We don't know. There's no reason to know. So, you know, we have to make our money somewhere. Do I care to think the priest is scared? He's a young kid. Who knows? Perhaps they will quit with the fighting and the debating. Yeah. Frederick won. The Pope isn't happy, but he won, so... And now everybody's happy.
He's gonna sit back in his seat and just go, yeah, everybody is happy.
Mm-hmm. Hey, signore. Have you eaten yet? You look like you could use a meal. Are you hungry? I know a guy. He got a great tavern. Good food. I'll introduce you. Oh, no, even better. I'll have my wife bring you dinner. You'll enjoy it. It's a good meal.
I thank you, stranger.
No. Giuseppe. I am Giuseppe. We'll be friends. We are friends now. Come.
There's a voice at the back of Myrno's mind that just go, I don't fraternize with peasants. But he's not going to say anything. I'm a stranger in a strange land. I'll just humor him and his wife, I guess. You can tell your wife to send the food to my estate where we're going.
Ah, of course, of course. It is good. You don't have. It'll be good. Don't worry. How many people are we feeding? Oh, you're way too skinny. We'll get you something to eat. Don't worry. And as you continue down, he will start singing. He's got a decent voice. The question is, how much. You probably don't necessarily understand, but anybody who does actually understand the Sicilian would be kind of laughing at the off-color, not quite bawdy or vulgar, but that fine line of, like, walking a song in public, like, really? Did you say that? Okay.
I'll just... How many of... Well, I guess I'm the only one riding in that carriage.
I mean, maybe your personal attendant, right? Like your secretary, if you would have one.
You mean my, Boromir the monk?
Yes.
My exceptional retainer?
Yes, your exceptional retainer.
I gotta... Give me a sec, I forgot to get a name for him. So he's going to be... It'll take just a quick second. Let's call him Joachim. Joachim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Joachim. Alright. So. It'll be, as you approach the villa and pull up, there are a number of servants who immediately get out and start, pulling things over. Your friend Giuseppe waves, and as you make your way into this villa, it is a 3-story villa that is stuccoed on the outside. The main door has got a very thick lintel that you kind of have to step over, but as you do, you step into it like kind of atrium, or a vestibule that leads into an atrium courtyard that is surrounded on on the other sides by the rest of the walls of the building. And the front-facing door, there are no other windows on the street side. All of the light comes from above, or other windows on the upper floors that are shuttered, but not on the street side, right? Like, that's one of the things that's kind of built into it. The roof is all of these beautiful terracotta tiles. The floor is marbled and clicks. You can hear it every time you step with your boots. There's a small shrine right inside the front door to the Holy Family, as is in every building that's going to be, Sicilian. Above the door, there is a crucifix. Protect you, because we want to protect you. But the rest of the building, a couple of the servants will come forward to take your bags and take your cloak and anything like that, and lead you wherever you would like to go first.
I guess the first matter to attend to would be going to the chapel to pray. Raymond needs to ensure that, God knows that I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
And that he can use me as a blunt instrument to drive away the evil that has afflicted this flock, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So the chapel in your...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, like before I go see my quarters, my rooms, whatever, head to the chapel first.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna take care of that. While, the rest of the retainers and all that just bring my clothes to my room, my do not open trunks to my room.
The chapel would be in the back
Yeah,
right
cool.
corner.
I need to be a blunt instrument because I can't draw blood.
There's that. So you have you go. The chapel would be in the back right corner from the door, facing east. Because at this point, all of the churches faced east, for a variety of reasons. Because that is where Jerusalem is, and that is the important point, to face the dawn as God appears. But it is a well-appointed chapel. The lantern is lit to signify the Eucharist is present. You have a couple statues of the Holy Family, Saint Joseph, the Virgin, the Madonna, and the Christ. Very nicely designed. Whoever the sculptor was did a fabulous job for you. Would you have requested any other saints?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's Saint Michael to begin with.
Of course.
But there's also, I think it was Saint Benedict.
Yeah, Saint Benedict is the founder
Wasn't
of
it?
the Benedictine order. Yes, Saint Benedict is the founder of the Benedictine order.
Yeah, protects against curses.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
Yeah, but there was another one. We did talk about another one.
Yeah, that was in your notes, and I'm trying to remember.
I remember that. Yes, I am also trying. There was a patron saint of something ravens. It was the feast of Saint Benedict after divine. Yeah, no, it was Saint Benedict.
Yeah, Saint Benedict. Yeah,
it was Saint Benedict.
So a statue to Saint Benedict would have been easy to have brought into the house. Slightly smaller than the Holy Family, of course. Saint Michael, of course, being.
Yeah.
It gets hard, right? Because usually Saint Michael is not depicted as he is a saint, but he isn't usually given one of the saints' chapels in a church, right? Like.
You're skipping a lot of frames. I don't know if it's me or if it's chat. If it's me or if it's you, but chat, let me know if it's me. Because I see you sort of, I hear you, but you sort of move every, 2 seconds.
It could be me.
I don't know if it's...
It could be me. It is Sunday night.
Anyway.
Oh,
please, yeah, I was gonna say, please carry on and,
Hawkeye says it's you.
Oh, no, it is me. It comes from me.
Okay.
Okay, I will keep going. I'll just take a quick look at the same time.
Yeah. It could also just be, our dear friend Adobe, as we have found out, is a problem.
It should be better now. It should run better. Maybe.
Yeah. You're not as robotic on my
Yes.
end. Okay. I also closed Adobe.
That's because I closed Adobe Reader.
Everyone raise your hand if you forget how much freaking CPU
Bullshit.
that
Anyway.
Adobe draws off your computer. Hi. So, what was I saying? Oh, so Saint Michael is difficult because he doesn't usually get he doesn't usually get um you wouldn't usually, because he's an angel, you don't usually build chapels to him, but at the same time, occasionally there would be one. So you'd more likely have, you would personally wear a medallion to St. Michael. You know.
I do have a Saint Benedict medal as well. Not wearing it right now, it's in his stuff, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
with, like, you know, a rosary bead.
I mean, you could wear them in public and no one would complain. But as you make your way to the chapel to provide your divine, could you roll me? What is the actual role that I need to ask for? What is it? It's the
What? Smelling shit?
Yeah.
Because the faith aspect of forbidden wisdom, it's just basically always on. You just tell me.
So
because then I have another one which is detecting people lying. I can use it to detect people lying actively. And the zeal facet of the power make my character noticeable and frightening to servants of Satan.
Yeah, but no, what's the one that I mess with you?
But like the basic one, which is like what the Von Murnos are known for.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's Devil's Bargain.
Yeah, that's Devil's Bargain, which is not relevant right now.
It's in. Yeah, no. But if you need to look at it, it's in my merits and flaws.
Okay, good. I do need to know that one.
It's the last one at the bottom.
Okay, so right now you have 2 Devil's Bargain dice, and then the audience at home can donate to give you more. I'm just saying. You know, you could donate to give Devil's Bargain dice to Simon. So, your chapel. Roll me perception awareness.
I might have found the source of the issue as well. Might have been Backblaze. Perception awareness.
Yeah, I think it was, because whatever you were just doing with Backblaze.
Does it smell like shit with 2 successes?
With 2 successes? Does it smell like shit?
I found out I can customize them, so that's awesome.
One of them is a 10. You re-rolled the 10.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
3.
How about 3?
4.
How about 4?
4 successes. There is nothing in your villa that smells, but something outside definitely does. In the nearby area.
Then is it a supernatural smell? Oh yeah, because I'm not detecting lies, because that's active.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to roll stamina and self-control, difficulty 7.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Stamina and self-control. I don't know where that is. Okay, I'm just gonna type it because using the sheet is a bit too long.
Yeah,
Stam 3, self-control 3.
It really does come down to easier to manually roll than one.
Yeah. Oof, 1 success.
1 success. And you only need 1 success, correct? To not hurl.
I do believe for Immaculate, I...
Yes, you only need one.
Yes. I just need one success, because if I fail, that's when I'm going to keep it secret for everyone else. I smell it outside. Do I smell it? Is it like a foul stench on the wind type of thing? Or is it like this particular, say, like, I don't know, rain barrel smells like shit? Like, is it closer to a thing, or is it sort of the smell is like wafting, moving?
I mean, it's almost like you have this chapel, right? And you'll have a windows in the chapel because of course you'll have light in the chapel. And one of them is left open, and the smell is strong enough coming through the window that it's overpowering enough the sense of the incense in this space that someone was very diligent about using.
Are there any windows that give out onto the direction of where that smell's coming from?
Yeah, there's a window to the right that's the one that's, you know, like to the right of the altar.
It's just because I'm going to poke my head out and basically look outside, see if I see anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go right ahead.
I poke my head out. Do I need to make another roll?
No, we're going to keep the same roll. So,
okay.
You can poke your head out, and it seems to be coming from the northeast of where you are. It's not anything like immediately in the alley right next to your window. It's like, you know, kind of a little bit further away.
Okay. I just to make sure before I leave, I'm just gonna go get a change of clothes. Put on my work clothes.
Yeah.
The ones that I don't mind getting dirtied.
Yeah.
And in my attempt to fix my internet problem, I closed the tab with the image that I wanted. Oh well.
It's okay. We're gonna take this as you get ready to
basically
leave.
The work. Oh.
Yeah, go describe it.
Yes. Oh, so basically the work clothes is just this. So I have like a leather, you know, those like little hat caps that fit over your head. They were normally just made out of like cloth material. His is like supple leather, like thin leather, because it's a bit more, you know, fancy, rich. With the rest of his like tunic being equally as like dark brown as the leather of his cap. He's gonna keep the breeches on, the same that he had. I mean, if it gets dirtied up, it's not a problem. And then over the tunic is a like those cowls. Just it's not put on right now. I would look basically like a. I think I found it. Did I? Maybe. There was a name for it. It's a type of priest. Oh, wait. Do I? Yes. It is. It looks like the sort of piece that the Blackfriars would wear.
Yes. Yes, that makes sense.
Anyway, I almost look like a monk, except my tunic is not as long as their robes are, and you can sort of see the pants underneath. But for the most part, yeah, almost Franciscan in
Franciscan in appearance.
in my look.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So, with that, we're going to take the break for the evening. We're going to stretch, bio, refresh, do all of those good things. Because things might go interestingly. Not the least of which is I have a bunch of dice to call on Simon to use. See you in a little bit, everybody. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We hope you're refreshed, you stretched, you bioed. So far, no one has given me any extra dice to torment Simon with, but I'm sure that someone's going to fix that, right? In the near future, right? Because we want to torment Simon. I just feel like that's a thing.
I'm sure a lot of people want to see me dead. In game.
I mean, how long have we played together, Simon?
I was looking at that the other day. I first started streaming in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true, 2018, like January of 2018 or something like that. But we started playing together on Kayla's channel.
But we did a one-shot.
Because it was you, me, Chris, and
Kika. But we did a one-shot on Scrat's channel first.
Yeah, but was it before?
Yeah, it was. It was because it was before. And
I thought the one-shot...
It was that fine line of we did the
but
DCC,
it's so
we did the DCC
2018.
Yeah. 2017, 2018, 2017. Look, y'all, we've known each other.
No, 2017. Yeah, like at least 6 years by now.
At least 6 years by now. So
that's the point.
That's the point. I need more reasons to attempt to kill Simon in game. Or at least more opportunities to. You can.
It does feel like a lifetime ago. Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, it was a different apartment, different job, different city ago. So, question. You've changed, you're on your way. You're gone to see if you can find what smells. Now, mind you, if you ask somebody what smells in the city of Palermo, you will get a variety of answers. It will not be the sewer system, by the way. The sewer system is very well maintained. Romans, gotta love them for one thing. And the Caliphate and the Moors took that and ran with it. Good on them. But it is a port town on the Mediterranean. And so occasionally in the summer, you will have the heat baking, well, and it's September in game, so, you know, still the heat baking any seaweed that is washed up on shore, the smell of salt, any fish that might be in various barrels for a variety of things. The street food markets are loud and vibrant and many, many different smells and tastes coming out of them. How do you like your octopus? Grilled, fresh in olive oil.
Simon, not so much. And I guess Raymond neither, because German in the 12th century. He probably never ate that. Ever.
Some
like
guy is
fish,
gonna
maybe. Eel, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Well, definitely fish, because, you know, Lent. And, well, not Lent, but Fridays.
Definitely fish. Definitely fish.
But, you know, some guy walking down the street in one of the food markets is going to wave a stick of grilled octopus in front of your face and try and encourage you to buy some.
No, thank you.
He just kind of shrugs and starts hawking to other people on the street. But as you weave your way, following your nose, it gets a little stronger. What does it smell like to you?
It smells like boiled cabbages you would have left in the sun for 3 days. If not more. like rotting food,
Look, I'm not a fan
but
of
mostly
boiled
cabbages.
but I'm not a fan of boiled cabbage at tembibage. Sorry, wrong language. At the best of times. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so, no, sun fried is not even kimchi. That's like kimchi is fermented. This is not fermented. This is just rotting boiled
Yeah,
cabbage.
no, that's different. No, what I mean is really like, yeah, just take cabbage, boil it in hot water, then take it out, leave it in the sun until it rots. I should say, let's add to that rotting cauliflower. Kind of like half of what a human insides smell like.
Yeah, great. None of these are things I like, but moving on. Glad to know that this is the unfortunate scent that is permeating Raymond's nostrils at the moment, on top of a strong scent of garlic, onions,
Yeah.
fresh fennel, variety of other vegetables and greens, and, fresh fish, and cheese. Lots of cheese. So much
If I
cheese.
wasn't cursed. Oh, fuck. I was gonna say, if I wasn't cursed, I'm sure the streets of Palermo would smell nice. I guess Raymond likes cheese because it's just, Simon doesn't. But right now, everything's overpowering everything else. The smell of corruption is overpowering.
Yes.
And no amount of garlic is going to fix that.
Fair. But you make your way northeast, away from the side markets and the fruits. You come along, you pass the gardens of the Palazzo de Zazi. You continue northeast to the doors of an open building. Small. What probably was a chapel at one point. There's no one here. There's nothing here. There's some mosaics on the floor. Some beautiful paintings on the walls that have aged. They're very, couple hundred years old at this point. It's one room.
How wide is this place? Yeah, but how many people can it accommodate?
Oh, you're talking about a chapel of maybe 15 by 30.
Okay. It's a bit bigger than what I had in mind. Okay.
A bit bigger than, and that's counting like the vestibule, right? And the asp. There's no.
Raymond's going
here.
to take a look at. Okay. I'm going to take a look at the upper half of the walls. I'm looking for traces of maybe soot that hasn't been, because all the priests died burning, right? They all burned to death.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for like soot that would be too high up for one to have been like just a torch. Maybe. Mm-hmm. But also that even if people did clean up, it was a year ago, 70 priests in one night, maybe more, who knows. There must have been a hasty sort of cleanup campaign.
Yes.
Right? People might have missed spots. Raymond wants to see if this chapel here might have been one of these places where a priest died. Trying to find clues. The first one that comes to mind is basically the soot in, because I figured they would also probably clean the ceiling. It gets easy, but you might not like clean like all the nooks and crannies at the at the junction of like walls and ceiling and stuff like that.
Yeah, so that sounds like an intelligence investigation.
That pretty much is intelligence investigation.
I'm glad we agree.
Uh, all right. Inv, where are you? There we go. We're going to call this
Snooping.
Oh, I'm trying to always like ask them as like questions.
Could somebody die here?
Hey,
Two
two successes.
Two successes. So as you make your way around, you notice that it's a little dusty. It's obviously disused. There's no altar here. There's no, well, it's the 13th century. There aren't pews anyways. But there are no kneelers either at any points. And you can, there are like smudges across what would be the asp behind, you know, where you can very clearly see like an altar had been removed, right? Like a big piece of marble scratched the floor when somebody tried to move it off the tile, right? Like that wasn't subtle. But the across the asp, which is, you know, this like kind of bowed area behind the altar that points east.
Yeah.
Along and underneath the windowsills, you see the remains of ash. And as you get closer, it definitely pings your nose. But there's something else. There's something about those windows that are bothering you.
When you say windows, you mean just like openings, or are they actually covered in like glass?
No, they are actually covered in glass. Welcome to Sicily. We do a shit ton of glass here. So does everywhere in southern Italy because, you know, glass is a Roman handicraft that we don't actually lose. They're not stained glass. They're kind of very basic.
Is it stained glass?
No, it's not stained glass. It's
okay, it's just
very basic, kind of arched, and there are three of them. One, you know, 1, 2, 3, domed, kind of arched windows.
And you say it's the window itself that gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah. Like, you definitely smell something. There's something off about the windows themselves that's just off. You would need...
Is it the only window in the chapel? Because you said windows are off.
I mean, yeah, it's the only set of windows, right? Like, there are 3 as part of the asp, right?
Yeah, that's what I... Okay.
You could roll me...
Oh.
You could roll me intelligence theology. And you could have one of
like
those
if they'd
extra
been
die.
stained glass, I would have said something like, "Oh, might be a triptych." Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What did you say? Theology, right? One difficulty.
6. Standard difficulty.
Okay. Way too many successes.
6 successes.
Yeah, 6 successes.
Yeah. So those windows that are bothering you, right? Like having a window up high to let light in, that's standard by this point, right? Like large windows, stained glass windows. There's no light coming from behind these windows. And it's daylight. And it's not even the shadowed light.
And I mean, they're not dirty, right?
They're not dirty.
I can see through them.
You can see they're kind of wavy glass, right? Like they're not. You also, it's not like, and if it was next to another building, right? Like if the wall is kind of pushed up against another building, you would kind of still see a little bit of light coming through because there would still be space, right? Like it's not the shadowed look of something else reflecting. There is no light coming through those windows. And with 6 successes...
Is there a crucifix in this chapel?
Not one at all. There are no signs of God in this place.
Oh. One, I don't like that much. I'll just tap the window with a finger. Just like a tap, tap, tap. I want to feel if the window is... Well, basically I want to feel if it's glass. Is it?
It's glass. But as you tap, 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 it doesn't ting. It thuds. And you echoes in this space.
I have an ability.
Okay.
I just need to make sure. I want to see if that's what it is. That's not what I want. Okay, so Mirror of Evil lets me resist mental and emotional manipulations. Would that count as like an illusion? I'm trying to see if like that's some sort of illusion and it is not like those aren't windows, like there's something else there and I'm being forced to see windows instead.
What is the actual rule? What is the actual...
I'm attempting to disbelieve, but I don't know if Mirror of Evil would work.
Yeah, what's the words
well,
on
so
Mirror...
what it says is I have... Sorry, what?
I was just looking at the actual words of Mirror of Evil.
Yeah, it's a conviction point that I need to spend, and then I roll conscience and faith.
Yeah.
And it's an area of my... Yeah, it's like an opposed roll with their...
So with that 6 success in theology, I'm going to go ahead and say that you know that there's something wrong here that may be mental, but it also it might be something else. So I will let you attempt to roll it and use that, whether you succeed or not, to determine if it's... We'll let you know what is going on, if that makes sense. Because it's...
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a conviction
because I can believe that Raymond believes that it possibly is something mental, and then attempt to overcome the mental. Does that make sense? And if he succeeds, then
Yeah.
he would know whether it's mental or not.
I said conscience and faith. All right. Difficulty 7, opposed by the roll for the power in question. Well, that's whoever is doing that in the first place. 2 successes.
2 successes. So, kinda. It's not an illusion so much as a manipulation of hiding something. It's more these are not the droids you're looking for. Turn away, don't pay attention. So there's something.
But would that count as?
That would count as we'll count it.
There's
as an
something
illusion.
there that I'm not supposed to see.
Yeah, you're something there that you're not supposed to see. So it is a mental manipulation, but it's not really an illusion, if that makes sense. And you think about it.
Yeah. It's more like a chameleon circuit.
Yeah. Or just forcing you to ignore something that's there. And as you force yourself to overcome it, there's a door. Small. Not like the big open doors of a church, but maybe 8 feet. Or, no, 6 feet. Sorry, have to adjust for time period. Pass-through door. In the space of what should be the center window is actually
before I go through the door.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. How far away from my estate am I? Time-wise, I mean, if I were to...
now that you know where you are, maybe about 15 minutes.
Walk back.
Right? Like, it took you probably an hour of moving through the city, trying to follow your nose across something. But it'd be about 15 minutes to get back to your villa.
I don't want to get back to, because I want to keep an eye on that door now that I know it's there, but I'm going to just go up to the, basically like the entrance to the chapel.
Mm-hmm.
I want to flag someone down on the street, throw like a couple of coins their way. I want them to go get Joachim at the estate, because I forgot to bring him along. And to basically bring the tools with them.
It's easy enough to do. There's a passing young person happy to take your coinage to go.
You urchin. Money.
And you know.
The tools, by the way, would be the standard
hunter's tools.
Stake, hammer, a vial of holy water. Yeah, like the yeah, not knowing what he's up against, I guess it would just be like the hunting tool, not going to bring any like big weapons or anything like that. And also, you know, torches, a light, something.
Mm-hmm. So it is perhaps like another 20 minutes until Joachim, 25 maybe, allowing for him to collect everything, follow said urchin back to where you are. And as you keep staring at this door...
Thank you, urchin. Here's your coins. Yes. What is it made out of?
It's wood banded in steel. Or iron, excuse me, not steel. Could have been, but you're not going to band a door in steel.
Okay. Is there a ring or a knob?
There is a lever.
And does it look like I need to push it or pull it?
It doesn't look like it has hinges on this side.
Okay. So I'll just wait for Joachim to get there, and then
goes, he's breathing a little heavy. He goes, "That's a lot of running." My lord.
It might be the first instance of exercise we're going to get tonight. I'll take the tools and everything, and as I do, sort of, put the stakes in the in my belt and everything. I'll point to the door and ask Joachim if he sees anything. What do you see?
The windows of the church.
The windows. Okay. Follow me. Light a torch, just in case. And I will, Give me 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Where did I have that? Maybe there's difficulty discussion. No, that's fine. Where did I put that? All right. Yeah, I'm just going to push the door. And still looking at Joachim from time to time, just to gauge his reaction, because he's probably seeing me push at a wall.
He sees you push at the window, but the minute your hands kind of put it's a lever door, it's a lever handle. So when you push the lever down and push on the door, it will open as you push in. So he'll see your arms disappear into what should be the window. And you see him readjust, light another torch. We're good.
The work of the enemy, Joachim. What's beyond there? Because I'm expecting not the back of the chapel.
No, not the back of the chapel. A small, landing. Maybe just enough to be 4 feet. So enough to have the door open and clear, and then a set of marble stairs that circular downwards. Just enough of the landing so that the door isn't overhanging the edge of the stairs. It's very nice marble. Old. Slippery.
Torch in hand, I'm going to carefully go down the stairs. Joachim behind me, of course.
Yep. I will assume he is following you until directed otherwise. So he is there, he has additional tools, and...
For people at home... I was going to say for people watching at home, it's... Just face, again, we all know the Faramir. If you remember the Helsing movie with Hugh Jackman, that follower he has...
That friar.
Whose name escapes me once again. Yeah, the friar that follows him along. Assume that's exactly the same person.
Yep.
It's the same look, same hairstyle, same hair color.
Yeah, he's just, is great ancestor.
David Wenham
Yeah, David Wenham.
is the person.
So,
Friar Carl.
yeah, Friar
There
Carl.
you go.
You make your way down the stairs. Oh, excuse me. Can I get a perception alertness? Or awareness, whichever one you put points in, because I understand that the additions are problematic.
No, I think there was only one in this one anyway.
Yeah, there is only one.
No, it's alertness. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
alertness.
But sometimes because I have
Perception alertness.
Because both of them are on the sheet, sometimes I forget that only alertness is the one that's on the.
No bonuses.
No bonuses.
Let's go. 3 successes with a 10.
Mm-hmm. 3 successes.
3 successes.
The air down here is cooler, and you proceed downward much further than you expect. Right? It's Palermo is a port city. There isn't, there's some, aqueduct or sewer system that the Romans built that's means that it's probably one of the cleanest cities you've ever been to, short of Rome. But it is a port city at, and this chapel didn't seem to be up any of the mountains. You were still inside the city limits. But you go down. 10. 20. 50. 100. And you're still walking down steps. And you know they're real. These are not like any of the illusions, and it's not perpetually twisting or anything. You can feel the coldness kind of, the difference of temperature from the upstairs, from the outside in the sun, a very balmy 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which like 23, 25 degrees Celsius. You keep moving downwards.
80? Yeah.
Dang, I can still do that in my head. But now the temperature has dropped about 5, 10 degrees. All you hear are the clicks of your shoes on this marble floor, these marble stairs. The light of your torches definitely extends as far as it can, but again, it's a spiral staircase, so the lines of refraction kind of aren't right. Like if it was a straight line of light, you would see the light further, but because of the turning of the walls, it doesn't go quite as far as you would want. And your nose definitely smells something getting worse and worse. Just strong. The worst aftermath of a hospital being cleaned out.
What? Sorry, hospital being cleaned out?
The smell. It smells like a refuse bin from a hospital. It gets worse every time. And finally, it's like 200 steps. You step foot on solid ground. It's tile, but it's not marble anymore.
Does it look like this? Yeah, I was gonna say, does it look like it's been cared for?
Maintained. There's still dust. you know, a little bit of dust here and there.
But it's not like, polished marble or, yeah.
No. Terracotta tile. Bright orange tile work.
Okay.
The standard for everything as you go. And then...
You said there was a mosaic upstairs in the tiles. Is there the same thing down here?
Not at first. Not for like the first 5 feet, 10 feet. Those are just standard. What's the word in English? They're kind of like oblong roses, is what they're called. Terracotta tiles. They're not square. They're here we go. They're orange and they look like like kind of rounded edges of like a square with rounded edges that's based on the way they interact.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. I
Here they are. This is it. This is the image. It just, these are everywhere in Sicily. It's just like every house has them, every street has them. These are just like the generic ones that you put on the base floor, and then you get fancier ones that are hand painted on the upper floor.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It was what I had in mind. Yeah, okay.
And so you kind of have like a stretch of those, and then there are mosaics, but they're along the walls. And these are beautifully done mosaics. Could I please get an intelligence theology? And you can use one of your dice.
Absolutely. Use one of my die. Okay.
One success.
That's close. It's one success with a 10.
Yep. So one success.
One success.
These
So far, so good.
don't look right. Like, you have... How much has Raymond studied beyond, his fight with the enemy?
Well, given that I have some theology, I mean, I have 2 dots, so it's not nothing.
And your academics, I guess.
Especially when it... Oh, you mean like in general, not just like theology?
Yeah, in general. Sorry.
In general, actually, oddly enough, not that much as far as general, let's call it general culture would be concerned. Mostly because all of his upbringing, first he had the noble's upbringing, or at least the minor noble that he has. So learn how to ride, how to shoot, how to, play games of strategy, fence. And then, he was taught to be literate, taught to speak Latin. And then most everything else, he picked it up along the way. Like, he's got a bit of, folks' wisdom type of tidbits of info he got here and there. He focused way more on the enemy than everything else, save for how to, at the very least, appear like a normal member of the aristocracy. He's got, he's had classes on etiquette, on managing a let's call it an enterprise, really, the seneschal, basically, type of thing. And he is mostly aware of, I guess his like focus of study aside from theology would probably be in the domain of like
Economics.
law and politics.
So
Kind of, I would say like a bit of history, a bit of politics, a bit of law, kind of like a humanities, basically.
so you have a little
Like
bit
he
of
would have
history.
studied humanities, except that didn't exist. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was humanities. That's what they were called. That's what a liberal. This is the beginnings of a liberal arts education. Studying all of that good reading.
Yep.
So you would know just enough that this. Your pre-Roman history is a little fuzzy. Or pre-Christian Roman history is a little fuzzy, perhaps. But you know that these mosaics do not match what you learned in school. At least from the history standpoint. But the skill involved,
I think considering
is a master artisan.
Okay. Like considering I have exposure at 3, I guess that's something that Raymond would recognize, that more often than not, what you learn is not the truth.
Yes.
I don't think he'd be surprised to see that things are like, oh yeah, okay, this contradicts something that I've read. Of course it does.
It does indeed. You know.
But yeah, you said master artisan.
Yeah. They're detailed. They're gorgeous. And the stench gets stronger.
What do these mosaic represent?
They're large-scale.
Or is it just like a...
The one that you point out most seems to be a sea battle with triremes. They're very distinctive looking, but it's at night, and seems to be a flag that is neither Roman nor Greek, at least not anyone that you recognize as Roman or Greek. Ramming a vessel that looks to be Persian. And a tall, pale figure ripping by hand the throat out of an individual on this Persian vessel.
For my own out-of-game edification, are there any like shadowy tentacles around that person?
No. There are no shadowy tentacles.
It's just, you know.
Yeah.
The place, the boats, the pale. Yeah, okay.
You, out of game, you as a player would recognize as like, oh wait, that's a vampire. No shadowy tentacles to say it's La Sombra.
Yeah, no, I know. It's not La Sombra, but it's, yeah. Out of game, I figured it was a vampire. In game, I mean, I do have exposure.
You have exposure.
Could I
3.
roll something
Yeah.
to...
You can roll... you have exposure 3. You can roll me... you have a cult, or is it...
I do have a cult.
Okay, so you can roll me wits occults, and you can add 3 dice for your exposure level. those of you watching,
Okay, so
this is a
wits.
VOD. I just want you to know that chat is being very entertaining to me as the GM right now.
Difficulty 6?
But with the 3 bonus dice from your...
Yeah, good thing I got the bone. Oh, no, I got my successes. I got my successes on my regular dice, and I got a bunch of 1s on the bonus dice. But I do have 1 success.
You do have 1 success. Yes, this is an agent of the enemy. Likely a vampire.
Yakim, get the stakes ready.
Now my next question is, are you attempting to be sneaky?
I think the moment I know, the issue is the light, right?
Yes. The issue is the light.
There's no way I can be unseen.
It is daylight
So
hours.
he'll just attempt to not make a lot of noise. Yeah, but I'm underground.
But it is daylight hours.
He doesn't know all of this.
This is true. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm also just saying that for those of you in the future watching this
So
VOD, I would like to tell you that Pope has posted if I could play the Silent Hill klaxon, I would.
The righteous don't need to hide, because hiding is for cowards and the wretched. Except when I hide. When I need to hide, it's because,
Because you're attempting to...
I'm righteously hiding. But in this case, I'm not. Yeah, I'm just going to be careful not to make, noise walking. But that's it. I'm not trying to... I'm trying to be careful, not stealthy. If that makes a difference.
Yes. One requires a roll and one doesn't.
I'm taking the one that doesn't require a roll. Because if I roll, I think I have negative dice in stealth, so...
Again, your Yakim follows you along. You follow into the tunnel, and you realize that at a point it splits into 3. All 3 passages, your nose tells you, are corrupted.
Okay.
To choose, you might have to roll.
They all equally smell as bad?
It's very heavy down here. To differentiate any level of difference, you're going to have to roll me a perception awareness.
Or perception alertness?
Alertness. Perception alertness.
No problem. I realized that for the very first time I rolled with awareness instead of alertness.
It's fine.
But, wow, 2, and then...
3.
And then 3.
3.
And 3 successes.
So, the minute difference, the strongest scent, it's a very minute difference. It's obvious that the corruption, these tunnels are heavily used by agents of the enemy. But the leftmost tunnel smells the strongest. By a very minute amount, but just a little bit.
You said which one? I'm sorry?
The leftmost.
The leftmost is a little bit worse.
Yes.
Then we will go left. The direction of the enemy.
As you go left, the mosaics start to change. It's no longer a triremes ship battle. Instead, it is a coliseum at night. And with large animal combat fights. And a figure seated in a box, wearing the crown of Caesar. Right? The laurel leaves that become the crown of Caesar.
The laurels.
Yes. And it is... This figure looks like a Caesar. Which one you're not 100% sure. It could be one of many. But the figure seated next to him...
I mean, if the Colosseum's not on fire, I know it's not Nero.
Nero didn't burn the Colosseum. Nero wasn't... Okay,
no, but he burnt Rome. Or he watched Rome burn.
Side note, Nero wasn't even in the city. Nero is at his villa on the seashore.
That's not what my history classes say.
Yeah, your history classes lied to you. He was in his villa on the seashore having a party. Now, mind you, he gets bad rap because he then promptly takes the land of all of the people whose houses burned down in those tenements and turns it into a pleasure garden for him and his friends. And a giant performance art hall where he forced people to listen to him play, and sing. And apparently he wasn't very good, but he wasn't horrible. But you know that it is the Colosseum, so it has to be after Vespasian. And Nero is dead by the time the Colosseum is built.
What do you mean? It didn't all happen at the same...
Of course. But this instead has a figure leaning over, pale, offering a chalice to the emperor.
Any red stuff coming off of the chalice?
I mean, it's a mosaic, not a painting. So the detail is not 100%.
Nah, crap, yeah.
Also, Caligula would have been very dead. Caligula predates Nero. But as you make your way through these tunnels, it gets colder. There's a chill in the air. And a tingle on your back. And with 3 successes, you see, just at the edge of your torchlight, 2 doors in front of you. One to straight ahead and one to your left.
Which door is the coldest?
The one to the left.
Again. Direction of the enemy. Gonna go left.
To answer Coldrake, no, he did actually, Caligula did make his horse a senator, but it was entirely as an insult to the Senate. It was, my horse is more intelligent than you all are. I'm going to make him a senator. Fuck you. And he did actually build the stables in the Senate to put his horse in. So not a rumor, just an interesting interpretation of things that happened. You're going to go to the left. This door is, again, heavy wood. Not banded in iron. and there are details carved along the not the rim, the edge of the door.
Wait, not bended in iron, but with what on the edge of the door?
Like something inscribed around the edge of the door. And you speak Latin, but do you
Okay.
read Greek?
Uh, just out of curiosity, on the door or like on the threshold?
On the lintel and the threshold of the door.
Like you said, the edge of the door, but
Yeah, on the door frame.
okay. On the door frame. On the door frame. Okay. Kind of like a trap. With theology and Latin, I think yes, I would have learned to read Greek because I think I had no choice.
You probably
At
learned
least
Koine.
a little.
You probably learned Koine, which is what all of the Bible is written in, except for the parts that are in Aramaic. So,
Yeah, no, I don't speak Aramaic nor read it.
you need then to roll me intelligence academics if you want to know what that says. And you can use your dots in
I will try that.
Latin to facilitate as your study of ancient languages for the purposes of theology.
Int academics and then bonus Latin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 3 successes.
So, what's laid across the door is a twisting of the Beatitudes.
You're going to have to quote them for me.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, for they shall, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. It is specifically the.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Blessed are the meek, for they shall feed the hungry.
Isn't that the thing that also says, for they will inherit the kingdom of God or something like that?
Yeah, the actual line is, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the kingdom of God. Instead, what is around the door in Greek is, blessed are the meek, for they shall feed the hungry. Gospel of Matthew.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm.
I'll turn to Joachim. We are not meek. Be wary.
He
I
shifts.
believe the enemy's dining room lays beyond. And I will slowly open the door.
And as you open the door, your torches shed light on a very well appointed room. 2 chairs at the far end from where you are, about 25 feet ish. Large, very heavy wooden doors. Fireplace, not currently lit, but against one wall. A table in each of the chairs on the side of the fireplace, not on the side where you are. And along the wall to your left, like a buffet, like a low attaché piece of furniture that has like where you would serve from. And then along the right-hand side wall
Mhm.
is more artwork, but this is frescoes. True frescoes. Roman frescoes. Work that, has been forgotten. Or a skill that has been forgotten for good
Or
millennia.
taken and then hidden.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Mm.
Depending on who you define things. And
Well, I mean, yeah, if they've been forgotten, I take it it's because the place that they were normally painted on sort of got destroyed or something over time.
No. So we still had frescoes that were made during the Roman period that survived through the Middle Ages, but the skill to make them or how they were actually done is forgotten during the sack of Rome.
That was lost. Okay.
The actual manufacture and skill is lost. It's a big thing that Da Vinci tries to recreate true frescoes, and that's what he does with the Last Supper. And that's one of the problems with the actual painting of the Last Supper, why it's so fragile, is he does it wrong.
Mm.
The timing is off. The composite.
So this would have had to be.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This somebody who knows the secret of Roman frescoes made this.
Like probably someone who was alive back then, type of thing.
Yeah.
I'm about to kill an artist. Damn.
Oh, if only. And there is another door on the far side, right-hand corner of the room that kind of leads off to your right.
That fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get closer to it. Does it have a chimney?
Are you gonna stick your head up it?
Well, just look. Yeah.
Cool. What's your dodge?
I have 2 points in dodge.
You might want to roll Dex dodge, please and thank you.
Cool. I will also spend a point of willpower to get at least 1 success.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I do have a 10 in there.
So you can re-roll it. So that's 2 successes that you.
So that would be 2 successes.
Mm-hmm. So at the last
I'm
possible...
going to check off my will.
At the last possible moment, this something in the chimney, the flue, falls down upon you, and you pull your head out from under it in a shower of ash. Just kind of comes down. And, Yakim starts coughing, waving his arms. And it is with this that the door to your right opens. And a figure steps in. And I did not know I had delivered. My food came to me tonight. Always a joy.
It is midday, monster.
No, it is an hour after sundown. As the light from the torch blinks off of his torches flicker off of his fangs. He is a tall individual, a good 6.5 feet. Long black hair, banded at the nape, and then later halfway down his back. His face is pale, gaunt even, but he looks oddly, well, if he was human he might look attractive, perhaps. I will have to thank Lord Servatius for the fine service he's provided. Now, you get to roll.
Your... Oh.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say your spree of burning clergymen ends tonight.
And there's a long pause, like, oh, that wasn't me.
Like, I'm fairly certain he's not responsible for it. Yeah.
No. He left the city. But we'll see what I enjoy from you tonight. So he's going to try and because he's that big of an asshole, capture your manservant with 4 successes. Is there
Capture with what?
He's your retainer, right? So he doesn't have his own character sheet, right?
Yes. No, he's the exceptional retainer, so normally he would have like a regular character sheet.
Yeah.
But
we didn't.
But I ended up not making it because I was like, this would be... I didn't know where the game would go, right? Yeah. So I wasn't sure, like, would it go to waste or not?
So we can use your stats.
Sure.
I think that's the most time and efficient thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you can attempt to roll Dex Dodge.
Yeah, or I was going to say we can just use like 5d10 for...
Yeah, 5d10. Okay. Dex Dodge, yeah. Go right ahead.
Give me just a second.
Yep.
Because I think I can do, I think with Mirror of Evil, I can... Yeah, if it's Presence, Dominate, Dementation, or certain applications of Obtenebration, I could cancel it with Mirror of Evil.
No, this is just straight celerity. He wants to eat
okay, you mean capture as in he's... Okay.
He wants a snack.
Dex Dodge... Yeah, okay.
Oh, 2 successes?
2?
With a 10? So 2 successes?
Nope, that's just 2 successes.
No. Yakim is now grappled by this very distinguished, tall-looking gentleman who is wearing a lot of red and blue. Very wealthy. So he's grappled. What would you like to do? As your manservant is in the clutches of
You said he was going very fast.
Yes, he was going very fast.
I have stakes, but I also have a torch in my hand.
You do.
I think what I'm going to do
By the way, I will say that the torch
is
that
I'm
Yakim...
going to...
I will say that the torch that Yakim Carrot was holding dropped when he got grappled, but it's still lit. So if you wish to use it.
Well, I'm gonna start by using something that, the zeal aspect of Mirror of Evil.
Mm-hmm.
And, basically my stats go up to match the stats of the creature that I'm facing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna spend 2 conviction to have the same, well, because it's in Dark Age, right?
Yeah.
Attacking someone with a torch, would it be strength or dex?
It's...
To try to just, like, set his clothes on fire.
It's strength melee.
Okay, so I will, basically 2 points of conviction, and, so I'm gonna have, go down to 4, and, trying to get dex and strength as high as the vampire. And I believe I need to roll... must spend a point of conviction for each attribute to be affected. Yep. And roll wits plus zeal. Difficulty of the character's own piety. Ah.
What's your piety?
Okay. Oh, a nimbus of heat and smoke surrounds the Inquisitor when he activates it, making the Murno who use it very cautious about doing so in public. Well, we're not in public.
No, you're
my
not. You're
piety
underground.
is 7.
There you go.
Yeah, my piety is 7. So we said zeal, so that's 2, conscience, that's 4, right? I said conscience and zeal? Wits and zeal, wits and zeal. Wits is 3 plus 2, so that's 5 dice. With an extra point of willpower, just to make sure. Whoops, wrong button. 5d10. Should be shit. Difficulty 7. 3 successes. 4 with my thing. So, what's his strength and what's his dex at?
His dex is 6 and his strength is 3.
Cool. Well, my strength doesn't change then. And I am limited by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's cool. I would normally, I have a maximum of 7 that I can go up to. But yeah, so torch to the clothing.
Okay, so this roll was just to see if you succeeded on the skill, and now you need to take
On boosting the stats.
On boosting the stats. So then it's now going to be strength melee for the torch.
Two successes, no 10s.
He's going to attempt to dodge while still grappling your servant. 2 successes. Tie goes to the defender.
Can I spend a will?
I will let you spend a willpower.
Oh wait, I also have conviction I can burn for stuff. Wait. No, there's 2 seconds. There's also conviction that I can burn for stuff because that's our special resource.
Yeah, he hasn't touched his blood pool.
No. Single point of conviction can be spent on a virtue roll to gain an automatic success. Yeah, but I'm not virtue rolling. So yeah, I'll spend a willpower to get 3.
Okay. So 3 successes. You can he just kind of shifts with Carl, and I think what it is Carl is still or not Carl. Yakim is still fighting.
Yakim.
Yakim.
It's fine. We know.
It's Yakim is still fighting because I just want to call him Giacomo. Giacomo. Welcome to Sicily. Your name is now Giacomo.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah. So Giacomo, he is still kind of struggling, and he's gonna try and like elbow the vampire as you're dodging, as you're coming forward, and that's what's gonna be that last moment of. To light the vampire on fire, please hold while I check the rules for lighting shit on fire. There are rules for that in this game. Also, he has to make a frenzy roll.
Yes. There's also fear frenzy on his part.
Yeah.
Because Rothschrak.
Auras, actions, health, duration. Fire effects. Torch. Soak difficulty. Thank you.
While you're looking at that.
Why am I looking at...
Give me 2 seconds, I'll be right
Yeah.
back.
And rust check. Sight of a torch. Being burned. Difficulty 7. Great. Can he avoid... Oh, hold on. Oh! Ooh! So everyone, that is 0 successes. And indeed, that is a botch on the frenzy check.
Hello.
Hey, Raymond?
Uh-oh.
Raymond? You now have a frenzying vampire
Yes.
that you've lit on fire.
Yes.
I would just like
But- A fear frenzy, so he's got to run away, not fight.
Yeah, but you've lit him on fire.
Because
so
it's
his direction-
Rothschrak. It's not...
Yeah, it's Rorschach. And so he has to run away. Problem is, he needs to run away from the source of the fire, which is your torch. But he's also
Yep.
on fire, right? Like you lit him on fire. So his
Yeah, I know.
what direction is he going to run in?
Sucks to be him.
He's gonna.
What's
run...
the damage of a torch? Do I need to roll that?
It's a fire damage right now. Because you didn't try and hit him with it. It's just fire damage. And he's going to.
Because I know
try
it's
and...
aggravated, but...
No, it's he can soak it though. He can attempt to soak it, and he is going to. Fun fact: do you know that the soak DC for a torch is only 5? Versus a cooking fire or a pyre. I love that.
Yeah, like, there are worse things.
Yeah. So he's got to run away from it. He is danger. He still has Yakum. There's nothing to break the grapple yet. He is just shouldering through, and you can kind of see the muscles rippling under his shirt. It's kind of just open at the V in a very scandalously, way. Really quite
More signs of the enemy.
It's scandalous. And he is dragging Giacomo
Only
down
the
tunnel.
enemy would show sweaty abs.
No, just the sternum. Just
They're
the
coming
sternum.
down!
The sternum. Like every good Italian, right? He's got the shirt open down to here.
Yeah.
And a chain. Or 6.
With the shag?
Of course. Of
Yes,
course.
but is there shag?
Of course. Well, not as much. Because vampire.
That's the important part. Because shag is well, I was gonna say shag is inflammable. So
Yep. He is.
if we go by Anne Rice rules, it means that he took care, like he manscaped before death.
But according to Vampire the Masquerade, you can affect the physical body, and therefore, you know, he manscaped
Yeah,
maybe
no, I
once
know. It
after death, and
doesn't
hasn't
matter,
had
yeah.
to anyway since then.
That's why I said by Anne Rice rules.
So he is now running, but he is
So he's but running towards the place he came from.
Yeah, the place
running
he
the
came-
place
Okay.
to the place we came from.
no, running towards the door he came through, and still dragging Giacomo with him.
Okay. So basically, his turn is just to run away and to be on fire, I guess.
Yeah, well, he's soaking it, so he's not currently.
Yeah, but he's still on fire.
Yeah, but you can see the rippling muscles. I didn't say he was very intelligent.
Yeah, but what I mean is he's pulling Giacomo with him while being on fire is what I meant. Can Giacomo attempt to free himself?
He can. You can.
As I
roll a-
shout like Giacomo,
Yeah, it would be a strength brawl.
that's your new name now, apparently.
Sorry. I'm trying, but you're
yes.
stuck in Italy. Your name is going to change. What do you mean?
Then the brawl.
Americo? What the fuck is Americo? Your name is Bill. That's in the Americas, but whatever.
Oh wow.
So roll that 10. So he's got 3 successes. So 3 successes against
Three successes.
his grapple. Excuse me.
Yeah, I
take out
figured.
take off one of those successes because he only had there should be 7, not 6, 8. So
Look. Carl the Friar versus Old Vampire.
yeah, but
The odds were stacked in someone's favor. I'll never forget you, Giacomo!
so he's being dragged by the fiery demon in through the doorway. What are you gonna do?
I have, like, according to Raymond anyway, epic dexterity now.
You do.
Right, because, I mean, I've got 6. He will take a stake, trust in God, and throw it at the vampire's heart.
Okay.
Basically, I want to use dex.
Yeah,
to
you can
stake
use
him.
me dex. You can. This is a dex. Technically, it's dex blades. I would call. I mean, right? Like, it would be.
Well, I mean, it's either archery or athletics.
Dex. I would take either.
I would say athletics because I'm throwing something. It doesn't really matter. I've got a point in each, so it doesn't really
Whichever
matter.
I think athletics makes the most sense here.
Believe in the heart of the stake.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Dex and athletics with a bonus of 4 because I can't. Can I change my dex directly to 6? Oh yes, I can. Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Hey Simon.
Just note what my original was. Yeah.
Hey Simon, use one of those bonus die.
Oh, of course. Of course. Any donations, like last minute donations came in to give me like, I don't know, 5 extra dice on that
No.
hail, a literal, oh, that should be the name of my skill check. It's a Hail Mary.
Yeah, it's a Hail Mary.
Question mark.
2 successes, so you don't fail.
Well, that's 2 successes.
And one of them's a 10. 3 successes.
3 successes.
3 successes. So let's see if he can dodge while he's
I have no idea. Yeah. Oh wait, before you roll dodge.
Yeah, okay. Take whatever. What were you going to say? We're going to spend that willpower.
I was gonna spend another point of willpower before you roll dodge.
That's
yeah.
fine. That'll be fine. So 4 successes. Hey, Simon.
Yep.
Simon.
Yes.
Remember what I say? And one of the things that I always like to allow for in this game is having world state be changed by, you know, Call of Cthulhu rules. Could you roll me a D100?
Did I stake like someone's character in your game?
Oh no. Don't worry about that.
Like did I kill like Pope's character or something?
No. This is a more important issue.
Ah, 68. God damn it. Can I spend a point of conviction to make it 69?
You want to go up?
The Lord would want it to be nice. No.
So
Raymond worships Jesus, not Buddy Christ from Dogma.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy Christ would have wanted it to be a 69.
Mm-hmm. So, I have, as Pope would say, news.
Uh-oh.
You do
Did I kill Giacomo?
stake a vampire through Giacomo.
Oh, fuck. What? Oh, shit.
And you see, as you throw this stake, and the door started to have closed, the stake goes through with this force of this power of this throw that you now have because you are mirroring what the evil that you see in the world through your devoted,
Don't say that out loud.
devoted servant into this vampire. And you have this brief moment as Giacomo's eyes meet yours, and an acknowledgement that this was indeed the right choice. And the door closes, slams shut. And you are left alone in these rooms with the sense of unease. But you killed the enemy.
What material is the buffet made of?
It's kind of like hardened wood. Lacquered.
Cool. I'm going to move it across the door to block it.
Mm-hmm. Which door? The door you just stabbed your friend through, or the door you came through?
The one that the vampire just went through. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And is there like wood left in the fireplace?
No.
I know there was like ash and stuff, but
No, there was ash in the flue, but there was no wood in the fireplace. No.
all right. I'm going to pick up Giacomo's torch and sort of open one of the. Does the buffet have doors? Like, I mean, I know some of them do, but
Yeah,
this
it's like
one does
this
it?
one has little small cabinet doors. There's one So you know what's his name's house in Blood and Wine? The rich baron merchant that's the creepy thing with his wife and the kids that we don't need to talk about what happens with the kids and his wife that may or may not have left him. Remember that buffet that had like shelves on the far end but the little like cabinet doors in the middle section?
Yeah.
That are carved with, you know.
I'm gonna open the cabinet doors.
Very nice
Is
silver
there
flatware.
anything inside?
Very nice silver, like, plates and a couple goblets.
Evil does not deserve that. I'm gonna take a pair of goblets. I'll probably make like silver bullet. No, well, not bullets, but silver tip arrows or something later. But shoving most of the non-burning stuff to one side, leaving the doors open. I'm gonna put the torch in, sort of in a way that, like, hopefully this entire thing is going to eventually go up in flames. And well, I mean, this entire place is gonna go up in flames. Job's done. I will weep for Yakomo later. But then I'm gonna leave.
You're gonna go back the way you came?
Yep.
Make your way back up the stairs. It takes a while. When you get to the top, it is full dark and the moon is high. You hear the bells ringing across the city. Vespers. It's late. You make your way back to your villa.
Eventually, my dex goes back to normal. I don't know how long that lasts.
I think it lasts like a scene.
It's like not written.
Wait, we did get a donation.
I guess, because it's not written. Oh.
Someone hates you, but also appreciates you. So, you make your way back.
Thank you to whoever donated. I don't have the, like, I only have chat opens, so I don't know what it was. What was it?
Oh, it's a help. It's in the intake.
Oh.
It's in the intake.
It's a what? Sorry?
Help is what they labeled it.
In the intake?
In the intake. So you know how there's a saying, when the shit hits the fan? And there's a second part of that saying.
Yes.
No, it's in the intake. Which makes it even worse. So you make your way back to your villa.
I see.
It's dark. It's fully dark. The shadows are longer than you'd expect. The sounds of people don't seem to be close to you. You come across one or two guards as you make your way back. It's faster now that the, well, hubbub of the city's given way to the nightfall. You make your way into your villa. Could you roll me perception alertness? Or actually, no, what's your stinky nose roll?
It just works.
Yeah, it just works. Perception alertness.
If there is perception alertness. I had one earlier. Does it smell like shit? Yeah, there we go. One success with a 10.
Mm-hmm. 2 successes.
I guess 2 successes.
2 successes. You cross the threshold of your abode. And while working through the city, there's standard low-level levels of corruption of any major metropolitan area. Again, sin does not hide from you in any case. Or shape.
Rest.
But inside your villa, there is for a moment as you walk through your door, weighted with the fact that you killed your friend, killing a vampire, and your retainer, and your secretary. all of a sudden there's an overwhelming...
And my doctor.
Yeah,
And my shaver.
yeah, all of those things. Overwhelming stench
Carl was a lot of things.
that comes up over you in a moment. And I get to roll something else.
I need to make a... Is it supernatural?
Oh, fuck yes.
Okay.
You need to make
What was
a
the
hurl
name of it
roll.
again? Stamina self-control difficulty 7. Yeah, stamina self-control. That's 6 dice difficulty 7. Stamina. Doesn't matter. I have to type it in.
2 successes.
Oh, 2 successes. I do not puke.
Cool.
Well, that's a bit too much.
So that's 9 successes. As the shadows themselves kind of part, and a figure emerges from behind your own door. As it closes behind you, and you feel this overwhelming presence subsume you. And you look up and see another tall vampiric individual, but this person looks like they perhaps survived leprosy of the worst sort. Their entire face, or maybe not, maybe they were burned. Their entire left side of their face and down their arms and legs is covered in burns. Their white skin and white hair. There's a smirk on their face. I think I'm going to enjoy this.
I think I puke. If it's a Nosferatu, I puke.
It's a Nosferatu. You puke. It's fair. He doesn't smell. He smells really nice. He does not have the scent of the grave. He, however, does have a very nice skill and presence and dominate. Perhaps because of other things that he's got. That's 12 successes with dominate. As he leans down to bite into your neck to turn
But I might
you.
be able to resist it.
Yeah, I know. He wants... Go ahead and attempt to resist.
Ah, fuck.
He wants to turn you.
Wait. It's not what I'm looking for. Which one is it? Yeah, no, it's Mirror of Evil, right? Attempt to resist the mental and emotional manipulations of an enemy, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Conviction point, roll, conscience plus faith, difficulty 7, opposed by the roll of the power in question. I guess that's your 9 successes?
12 successes. 12.
Okay.
Right? 7?
What?
Or 9
No, 9.
successes.
12 is just the 6 plus 6.
Yeah. 9 successes.
Okay, so I have to roll conscience and faith. My conscience is 4. My faith is 1. So I have to have 9 successes on 5 dice.
It's possible.
Well, no.
No. So, what...
It is, but...
What happens, Raymond, as you feel these pinpricks of fangs bite into your neck? Just as you feel the life start to fade from you. You feel a wash of warm, life-giving, comforting blood drip down your throat. What is Raymond's last thought as a mortal?
That my family will avenge me.
Maybe. As we pull back the camera and we see, for those of you who've watched along before, see the image of Servatius, a very, very fine vampire, if he does say so himself. Apparently newly involved in politics in this city, shares an image as we see him cradling his new childer to bring him back into the rooms of your villa. And we see as you are carried through these, well, unconscious, the camera follows Servatius as he walks across this tiled floor, and we see images of just pools of blood cooling where perhaps your other servants did not survive so well this night. And you will awaken.
Ah, I wish he had been embraced. We would have been...
Yeah, too bad. You stabbed him. And instead you are embraced.
No. You mean God stabbed them. I'm just a vehicle.
Yeah, well, you're not being turned by a Cappadocian. You're being turned by an ass-old Nosferatu.
By a Nosferatu.
Who...
Which page is he on?
Servatius. He is number... no, where is he? Come here, Servatius. He is number 17. The tattoos are also present. They're across the
17. Scalp. Ah, okay, yeah.
He is a very unique individual who will take great pride in instructing you in your new life, and perhaps enjoy embracing quite a few more members of your clan. It's always important to have no knowledge of the Inquisition.
Yeah.
Or at least...
I was going to say, wouldn't mind having my retainers, like, if he wants to...
Oh, well, these servants were...
Well,
he was hungry.
As a vampire...
Yeah. You're going to get them, don't worry.
Because I was going to say, as a vampire, Raymond would probably have Gould as, like, retainers, because, like, why not?
Yeah, but he's not there yet. You're still just a fledgling.
No.
Not a fledgling? Now, admittedly, you can take your sheet and now add that you are a...
No, I would.
You are a fledgling, but you can also make the note that you're a 5th generation vampire.
Generation, I will remove millennial. I will put, shit, I didn't close it. Okay. The name was?
Servatius.
So you said 17? Okay, Servatius. I thought it was like Sir, as in like S-I-R, and then space Vatius.
No, Servatius is actually a Latin word.
As in like his name is... Cool.
But I think that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Also a bishop. Yeah.
So, thank you, Simon, for being here.
Whoever turned me into a Nosferatu.
Huh?
Yeah.
I did turn you into a Nosferatu. You can thank the
I have a bit of lag, that's why.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Yeah.
Thank you to the donator who...
I feel like Raymond von Murnau. Sorry, lag. I was gonna say, I feel like Raymond von Murnau is a good name for a Nosferatu.
Yeah, I feel like that too. So, thank you all for being here. Thank you for that last minute donation. I will be pulling I have to go through and do this, but I'm going to pull all of these donators and pull a winner, because from all of the donators, we will see who wins a GM screen created by our wonderfully fabulous not Pope, Hawkeye. Sorry, Hawkeye, I had a brain freeze moment. We will go through and do that. And we will let you all have some fun. Next week's going to be interesting. I might be back with some more solo stuff. I might be back with something else. Pay attention. We'll post about it. But Simon, take it away. Tell the world where they can find you.
Hello. Yeah, I'm Simon at Wandering DM. First of all, thank you for the game. It was a cool little Inquisitor one shot. I was fairly certain going in that I would die. I just didn't know how. I didn't get ripped apart. That was like my my main bet tonight was like, oh, I'm gonna get like torn to pieces by a demon. Kind of surprising that this is not what happened.
So I'll tell you why in a minute.
Yes, Simon at Wandering DM. You can find me on on Blue Sky now more than anything. It's Wandering DM in one word, I believe. Let me just confirm. It's been a while. Yeah, Wandering DM .social. I'm gonna put it in the Zoom chat.
Go right ahead.
But there we go. I'm going to be here way more often than I said Zoom chat. I'm in Twitch chat. Oh boy, getting tired. Anyway, I'm going to be there more than I was on Twitter anyway because trash fire. That said, you can find me over on my channel on Tuesday for the second session of Adeptus Publicanorum, as the team now have their very simple quest. Very simple thing. They need to go stamp out a few forms to ship food, like the free food from a warehouse that's in like lockdown, and then they also have to probably murder a cult leader that that is in control of the sole 3D printer on the planet, or something like that.
You're using.
Anyway, it's very simple.
You used the wrong verb. It's not murder if you're with the Administrarum. It's just an execution.
Yeah. Well, in this case, they don't even know yet who he is, and the story's a bit murky, but what do you know? It's simple. It's 2 steps. 2 steps, and then they get 5 years worth of back taxes to bring back to their ship, to the great pleasure of their patron. Other than that, I should be back on Scion this Saturday. Again, Scion is hit or miss. We have a lot of scheduling issue, a lot of life things going on with basically all the players, except for Hawkeye, who's in chapter now. Hello. I will also be at PAX Unplugged. If you want to find me, I am still looking for a place to crash if you have any, but I'm working during the con. As far as I'm concerned, up until now, I'm still working. And I will be demoing Ancient Ones, the RPG, which is a game that I've been working on for Alan Panical, who's the creator of that universe. If you, in 3 words, elevator pitch is basically Farscape meets Destiny. Pretty good idea of what it is in a nutshell. And then thank you Prax, for the game. Thank you for letting me play in another version of Vampire. We seem to be trading editions and versions as we go back and forth over the years. Thank you so much for everyone who donated again, were it last week or even tonight. Very, very appreciated. And that's it for me, I guess.
Yep. So to answer your question about why you did not die to a demon, Trooper is Prince of Aachen. Prince Arta. Prince of Aachen.
Mm-hmm.
He is a true Bruja. Who's not a true Bruja. He's a Malkavian. Who, through... He tapped into the mind manipulation of the demon and compelled the demon to come to Aachen. So the demon has been taken care of. Don't know if anybody human knew about that publicly, but there was a whole bunch of other issues that were happening.
Yeah, probably not at that point.
And so you got sent to Palermo. And, you know, you could have lived. There was an entire possibility that you could have lived. And Servatius would have just fucked with you for a longer time. But you did stab one of his affiliates. And tried to light his house on fire. And tried to light his art on fire. He's really protective of his art that he's made over the millennia or centuries. So you now get to be part of his clan. Well, see, it'll be interesting.
Well, damn.
But thank you everyone who's been here. Thank you to everyone who donated, whether this week or last week. We are ending this campaign at $1,050. Thank you for all that you've done to donate to Fisher House Foundation and providing care, which provides care, housing, and support for veterans and their family, well, veterans and or members of their family undergo treatment at various VA hospitals around the world and around the country. Thank you so much. I am your friendly neighborhood Prax, at Deirdre Online on Twitter, or Praxgore Thesmia4. See me around here on Twitch, Prax the Bard over on Instagram, Hive, and Blue Sky. If you've missed out on anything, there's a YouTube. All of the VODs are going to be on YouTube, including all of the VODs of this campaign of Dark Ages Vampire that we've run. This one will be going up shortly. If you want to help out the channel, there is a Ko-Fi for that. All of that goes back into the channel, helps me do all of the production and everything that you see here. But other than that, I'm probably just going to be running some one-shots between now and the holidays. And as such, keep an eye out, because I don't know what's going to happen, and I'll figure it out as I go, which has apparently been my entire, last month. But thank you all for being here. Thank you all for sharing, liking, subscribing, all of that good stuff. We appreciate you. And I am going to try and raid, because things are choppy. And nobody's up, so we'll just say goodnight, everyone. And thank you again for all the joy that you bring.